Good morning, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we're going to continue with our trailer build. As you can see, we still have it up on its legs. We've got the bottom faced up. Game plan today is to actually do the rails that go across. We are using 2x2, 3/8 thick. Most importantly, we're going to try to get this figured out where the axle is going to go. We are going to use the 60-40 theory with this trailer. Should work out perfectly. Game plan is to actually get the rail that goes across for the tongue and the rail that goes across for the actual axle. Now the axle is not actually attaching to the rail. I just like having the rail right above the axle to give it some extra support. These have to be completely finished with the weld all the way around on the bottom side, and we'll do that too. So let me get my hands dirty. Let's get some 2x2 and we'll get started. Okay guys, so we're gonna go ahead and measure up. So this is a 10-foot trailer. So from that back rail to that back front rail is 10 feet. So if we're going to work with the 60-40 theory, we got to come out 4 feet, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to measure off the back rail, not the actual end rail or the end pipe here, the 2x4. I'm going to measure off the actual full out rail. So we'll put that there, and we'll go up to 4 feet. Now 4 feet is going to be the center of where that axle is going to be. So where the eye is actually going to be. Let me make a mark here. And we'll just write 48. So we remember. And we'll do the same on this side. Walk around this material. Let's see if I can fall. That would be great. Okay, so let's do that again. So as you can see, I'm measuring off the back section, not the end. I'm trying to stay off that end. And we're just going to line up 48. And we're right there. Nice and square. We're good. So let me just see if I go from the inside of this. Oop, what am I doing here? Inside of this should be 46 1/8. That should be around the same, I'm sure. .46 1/8. Perfect. Okay, we're good. Okay, so we'll measure the length of this guy, and if I'm not mistaken, let me write, it is 56 or 58, I think. It's 56 1/8. Let me just double check this side here. 56 1/8. Okay, so we're going to measure 56 1/8. We want these to be snug, but not too tight, and then we'll go from there. Double check on the blade. We're good. All right, let's give this a cut. Okay guys, so I've got that angle iron mounted with some clamps. This will make life a little easier for us when we're working. I think that's going to work out quite nicely. So let's get this guy popped on there where I need it. And that's where she's going to sit. Let's use my magnets to make sure we're dead center. We're there, dead center. dead center here. I'll put one on the opposite side. There we go. Okay, so the next one is going to be for the tongue. So we'll get that one ready to cut. So our tongue here, I ordered an 8-footer. Now usually tongue-wise, sticking out of your trailer anywhere between 48 inches to 50, depending on depending on the size of your trailer. Well, in this case, I want it to be about 50 inches sticking out. Might be a little long, but that can always trim that down. We want that to actually come into the base of this trailer. So what it'll do is it'll act as extra support. So we'll end up cutting the front of this to have that beam sit inside and weld all the way around. The beam itself will stick out about an inch above that beam. That'll allow us to run any wiring and so forth that we need. Now, if you guys watched the other video, you'll notice that I had drilled holes in the actual rails to run wiring. We can use those also, depending on what we're doing. So, if we're going to do, that's an 8-footer. We want, so let's just eyeball it here for a second. 8 feet. Let me just get a vision here. So that's 4 feet sticking out. I want it 50 inches sticking out. Maybe 52 inches sticking out. 55. So what do we got? So if I do that, I can do 4'6", and then 4 foot. Actually, I can probably get away with doing 4 feet. 4'6". So that's not going to work. So let me just get my math here, my brain on math. 48. Let's do 96. What do we got here? Let me grab my marker for a second. I just want to see. Where I'm at. That's actually going to be pretty good. That's going to add some stability because it's going to be very close to where I'm mounting the axle. That's awesome. So what I'm trying to do is give it some strength. So what we'll do is I'll do 40 inches. 40 inches should do it. All right, let's mark 40 inches and let's see how that looks. Because I'm going to put it on the inside of that 40 inches, and that'll give me an extra 2 inches. That'll bring it down to 42. That should work out pretty good. And what did I have it marked here as 41? Well, 40 inches should work out okay. Mark that. "40 inches. If I do it on the other side, and what are we sticking out here? 7. Oh yeah, more than enough. Okay. More than enough. Let's mark the other side, 40 inches. All right. We're looking good. Now, just for shits and giggles, 38 and a quarter. We're right on. $38.25. $38.25. Let me double check. I know I feel like. Yeah, we're right on. Okay, good. So, let me just make sure, once again, I'm pretty sure we're right on, but let me just make sure. 50, 56 and 1/8. All right, let's cut it. I cut this one out. I could have swore that was 56 and 1/8. Could be wrong. Yeah. We gotta leave the line. Okay. Let's do 56 and 1/8. And then I gotta get my square. Where did I put it? There it is. Let me just double check. Okay. I definitely. This is why you double check, guys. I definitely screwed that up. I thought I marked it properly. Way off. Ah, come on. Next project is to build a stand for this thing. Mark it there. And we'll measure it again. Put the blade on it. We're good. All right. All right, let's give this a clean up. All right. Now I left the line, so this might be a little tighter than the other one. So let's take a look and see where we're at. And it is tighter. 1/8. All right, so we'll just file that down, grind that down just a bit. I knew it was going to be real snug. All right, let's try that one more time. And there we go. We're perfect. No play, nice snug fit. We'll get a magnet on that, but that's going to work out perfect. Well, we need a magnet for that, and we should be able to figure out what we're doing with the rail, with the tongue actually. Let me grab 2 magnets. Perfect. That's perfect. Let me just measure from the rail to the front. Making sure guys, we're like perfectly square. Bang on. Very happy with that. And then, of course, we've got $55 of that inches sticking out of that. That's perfect. Okay. So those are good. So now the game plan is, let's get these tacked in. And then we'll cut the front and we'll get the tongue in, and then we'll put the remaining in. So let's work on that. Okay guys, I've got the welder turned on. So the game plan is to tack these cross sections in, cross members in. So we'll get that done. Let me turn this heater back on. We got some cold weather coming in. So let me put my welding hood on, and let's get those tacked in place. We won't do a full weld just yet until I get everything kind of where I need it to be. Let me get my welding gloves. Sorry guys, I should be more organized. But we'll get these tacked in place, and we should be good. That's good. All right, gas is on, welder is on. I got too much sticking out. Clean that up. I think we should be able to reach the other side. We're good. All right, so that should hold everything in place for now, and we should be good. And we'll start off with the tongue, and then we'll do the rest in between. Good. We'll leave the angle iron in there for now. It's not in the way, so I shall leave it. Shut this gas off. And then we'll get ourselves ready for that tongue. Okay guys, sorry about that. The camera died on me, so I've got my other one out. So let me show you what I've done here. So this is the tongue. So what I did is I measured the center of this rail, which is 30 inches, and I cut out a slot. Let me see if I can grab the slot. Hold a second. Okay, so I cut that out, and that allowed the 3x3 tongue to slide in. Now the 3x3 tongue is sticking out an inch, and we want that, and it's 2 inches in diameter going into the actual front beam, which we'll do a full weld on. Now on the back side of this, let me move over. I'll kind of show you what I got going on here, if I can get around it. There you go. Well, actually, maybe you can see it better this way. I've also gone ahead and marked the center of that, the center of this beam, and notched that one out. And that's where we'll weld there. And that's kind of what it looks like. And once we weld her up, she's going to be perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'll put this camera down, I'll do some welding, and then we've got a couple of pieces that we're going to have to come out from here onto this beam, and then pretty well we're there. We'll have to do some angle iron around the ends just to hold the board that we put down, but we're getting there. So let me do a little bit of welding. So guys, I got it all completely welded. She's looking good. We did down the sides, top. You can see that. She's looking really good. So we need a couple more pieces to install, and we'll get to it. So we're gonna have to do a rail in between the tongue and the outer wall here in between. We'll have to do one there, and then we'll have to do some angle iron around the edges. And that'll be it for the subframe of the trailer. Then we'll get the mounts in for the axle, but that's coming. Hey guys, so if somehow I lost my mic during this portion of the video. So what we're doing right now is installing the beams that are coming from the tongue to the outer wall. So I'm measuring it out, and we're going to cut those. We'll put braces underneath to hold them. It makes life a little easier when I'm welding. So guys, next I'm going to measure up to find out dead center on both sections here, and I'll measure to find out the distance I need to cut that pipe to fit in between. What I've done on both sides, on the outer rails, is added some angle iron, just clamped it in there flush to the bottom of the 2x2. So this will help hold the pipe so I can keep it flush when I'm welding it. Just makes life a little easier. You know, it's always about working smarter, not harder. So I'm going to go ahead now and install a piece of scrap 2x2 underneath the tongue to give support to the pipes going from the center to the outside rail. This will hold the pipes while I'm welding. Well, let me get this clamped in and I'll show you how that's going to work out. All it's really doing is making sure that when I do weld that my 2x2 will be flush to the tongue and to the top of the rail, outside rails. out and we'll tack those pieces in. We got a really good fitment in there, so that's awesome. So guys, I'm going to get some angle iron, 2" by 2" angle iron, and we're going to mount it up against that rail. That'll secure the base or the subfloor of the trailer to it. So let me grab some angle iron and we'll get it cut and we'll get it placed in there. So I got the angle iron ready. Now I'm just cleaning up the edges and getting it ready to install and tack weld. Just trying to make sure that I've got enough clearance over the inside welds so it sits flush up against the rail. So here I'm removing the center piece of pipe that I used to brace the cross section. I'm going to move it over to the front so I can brace that angle iron so it stays flush. We've got them already measured out and cleaned up, ready to be tack welded in. So here guys, I've got another piece of angle iron for the back end of the trailer. I'm measuring it and getting it ready to install the same way as I did the front. We're going to do the back. Here it's a little easier because it's a full solid piece. We'll get it cut and we'll clean it up and get it tacked welded in. removed the angle iron that I'm using at the bottom of the trailer to support my cross sections. We're getting ready to cut some more angle iron to go in between those 2x2 square piping. Why we're doing that is to make sure when we put the subfloor in that we get no bowing in between the 2x2 square pipe. So guys, I've got all the pieces cut. We're going to get those tacked in. Turn this gas back on. So guys, I've got it all measured out here for the front. So if you remember, I left a little extra length here. So usually a tongue's about 48 inches, and we need some cross members here to make this trailer stable. So what I've done is I've got some of that 2x2, and I kind of measured out where my fifth wheel is going to go. I marked 48 inches here. We're good. The fifth wheel's got lots of room to move. We're getting almost a perfect 45-degree angle here, which is good, and that should hold and give that trailer some make it more stable is what it will do. I'm flipping over my own tongue again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually trace this where I've got it sitting right now. I'm happy with that. So what we'll do, and there's enough here to put a utility box if I wanted to, or so forth, and we could do that, which is awesome. I don't need that angle to go all the way across. Usually some of the other trailers that you see, they have it sticking out like so. Okay, mine's going to be flush right to the rail because we are using 3/8. That's kind of what we want. I've got a 45-degree angle here, which is great. Exactly what we need. Okay, so let me trace this. And we'll cut two identical and then get it lined up and tack it in and then see how it looks. Okay, we got some good marks there. All right, let's get the wheel and we'll cut it, and then we'll see how it fits. What I'll do is I'll put a bar on here to hold it up after, and we'll double check. But let me get the death wheel and we'll cut it. There we go, guys. She is looking pretty sweet. Now let's grab a tape measure and let's make sure we're somewhat where we need to be. Almost 7 inches. Let me just make sure. Okay, we're off. Yeah, we're off. Why are we off? That's because we're not sitting right. There we go. There we go. So that corner's got to be grinded down just a bit more. All right. Okay, that's sitting better. Let's take a measurement again. What do we got? So let's move it to 6 3/4. We're at 6 inches. Now we can come out a bit. There we go. 6 3/4, guys. Bang on. And we're dead right center there. Perfect. Okay. So I guess we can tack this puppy in and we should be good. I don't think she's going to go anywhere. Let's try this side. Okay. I don't think she's going anywhere, guys. Let me try to move this out of the way. We'll put a couple of tacks in the front. beautiful. You think we can get in there? We can. It's good. I'll be able to weld that nicely. Nice. Let's try it out. No, I'm getting there. All right, guys, we've got it all tacked together. Now it's a couple of hours of welding and cleaning up. Looking pretty awesome. Let me show you the fifth wheel I've got. I'll grab it. That's going to go right in here. I can bring that even a little closer if I need to. There we go. That's going to work out beautiful. Absolutely perfect. So there you go, guys. It's all tacked in. Of course, these end pieces are just clamped on for now. We'll remove those. But I've got all the cross braces installed, including the angle iron. She's looking pretty awesome. So now I just got, like I said before, I got maybe an hour and a bit of welding and cleaning up. And then I'm gonna prep for the actual leaf springs to go in. And we'll weld that in and we'll be ready to rock and roll for the axle. Once we get the leaf springs mounts welded in, we'll flip this thing back up on its upright and then install the axle and the wheels just to keep it off the ground. But before I do that, I'm probably gonna hit the bottom of this with some rust protection. Just easier to paint before I flip it over. Guys, I don't want this to get too long, so I'm gonna end it here. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this segment. Please like and subscribe. It'll help me out tremendously. Look forward to seeing you on the continuation on this build. Thanks again, guys.